The RNC now has thrown its support back behind Republican candidate Judge Roy Moore after pulling staff and money just weeks ago. This is one of his accusers is sharing what he calls, or rather what she calls, evidence that she dated Moore when she was 17 years old and he was 34. She told the Washington Post she found a storage bin in her attic that she'd forgotten about. Inside that storage bin, a scrapbook with a card Moore gave her when she graduated high school, and notes that she'd written detailing time she spent with him. She tells the Post she wants Moore to stop calling his accusers liars. He continues to deny the claims against him, speaking out in a radio interview just yesterday. Listen.
What they've done to me is not only unforgivable, it's just pure hatred, and it's pure spite, and it's pure evil and wrong. And they have made up stuff that I would never even considered doing. This is the most dirty political race I've ever been in, and I think anybody could be in. So I think the people of Alabama see through it. I think they're coming around, and I think we're going to win. Once this political season is over next Tuesday, it'll be gone. Nothing will ever be said about it.
President Trump endorsed Roy Moore yesterday. Dan?
You know, here's the problem I have, and I want to explain this to Marie, why I feel the way I do.
Why you think my party is full of
evil?
evil?
Full of frauds. Yeah, they are. They're just complete frauds. I mean, I'm talking about the establishment people, not the rank-and-file Democrat voters in America. But here's the issue I have with this. We were told years ago in the Clinton era that morals don't matter. The economy was doing well, and it was under the Clinton years. Nobody denies that. Morals don't matter. What he did in his personal time makes no difference. So now we're in, as Ben Shapiro said in a great piece, we're in the classic prisoner's dilemma. Now morals don't apply to Democrats, but when it's Republicans, Roy Moore should leave immediately. So what are we going to be left with then? A bunch of sexual harassers up in Congress and in the White House who are always Democrats because they don't have to step down. I'm sorry. Until we can agree on a standard set of rules, allegations are made, you leave. I don't blame the people in Alabama one bit for saying, nope, if we're going to do this, our guy's going in.
Oh, I don't know.
Marie?
Can I defend Marie for a second here?
Please, go ahead.
I think that there is a lot of what you just said to go around on both sides. A lot of people are looking out for their political best interests, and it doesn't matter which side of the aisle they're on. Everyone's guilty of doing that right now. It is up to the voter. You listen to the people. You listen to the accusers. You decide for yourself what you believe. And you go into that booth and you vote your conscience. And maybe your conscience cares more about issues than it does about what happened to these women. That's why the booth is secret. You go do your thing. But there is hypocrisy on both sides of the aisle.
So can I bring up one thing, though? Because, and I don't know where Senator John McCain and some others are on this issue now, but early on with this, with Roy Moore, they were talking about the constitutionality of trying to unseat him.
Yeah.
After the Alabamians had their say, because they agreed that constitutionally the voters get the say, and then what happens when you get to the Senate is up then to the Constitution and the senators making a motion. Katie?
Well, I think that would be unwise for Republicans to reverse the decision of the voters in Alabama. This is a choice that they're going to have to make. It's a bad choice, whether it's Doug Jones or Roy Moore. If I lived in Alabama, I wouldn't be voting for either one of them, but I don't. It's not up to me. But I want to go back to what you were saying about the double standard. Yes, this happens on both sides of the aisle, but here's the difference. If you go back to the 2012 presidential election between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, and you look at the double standard that was held there, for decades, it is true. Republicans have tried to take the high road on the morality issue when it comes to sexual abuse and assault. They have resigned. They have been shamed out of office. Mitt Romney was accused of having binders full of women, right? That was the big controversy surrounding Mitt Romney. And yet at the DNC in 2012, they had a 7-minute-long tribute video that called Ted Kennedy a women's rights advocate when he had left a woman to drown in his car. And that is where the frustration is.
So let me
if we're going to do it, then we're going to let our guys be in charge.
I want to pick up on Mitt Romney for just a second, because he tweeted about Roy Moore, and this is what he said. Roy Moore is in the U.S. Senate, would be a stain on the GOP and on the nation. Lee Corfman and other victims are courageous heroes. No vote, no majority is worth losing our honor, our integrity.
Look, Mitt Romney, regardless of whether you like his policies or not, is a good person. I think has his morals and principles in the right place. And we can go back to Clarence Thomas, who the GOP supported despite allegations. There are people on both sides. We are having a reckoning in this country with how to deal with sexual assault and sexual harassment. And by saying it's all Democrats or it's all Republicans, we are avoiding the hard conversation about how to deal with it. And we have Republicans like Representative Farenthold, who paid $84,000 in a settlement. Are you calling on him to resign?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Are you calling on Donald Trump to
I have no
resign?
problem saying that, though. But the Democrats don't.
But the Democrats, I am a Democrat who sits here every week and calls on people like John Conyers to resign.
Yeah, but where's the Marie? You're
Where's
not in
Nancy
power
Pelosi?
right now.
Took her 2 weeks.
Where's the Senate calling for Al Franken?
Where's the RNC? Where's the
All right,
RNC
so
calling on Representative Farenthold or Paul Ryan to resign?
I'm sure.
That I want to just point out as facts.
I'm
so
not
Roy
sure.
Moore is alleged to have done some things that happened, and he's not in Congress.
Yeah.
Al Franken is alleged to have done some things before
While
he
he
got
was.
to Congress.
Right.
I just want to set
And
it
while he's
straight
in office, too.
because it's a little different now. As more people have come forward, Al Franken may be in the shadow, as you said, of things that have happened since he's been in office, which changes the game. Do we have time to stick up that response from Roy Moore to Mitt Romney? Either Mitt Romney has lost his courage or he doesn't care about truth anymore. Sad day. America's reawakening was led by Donald Trump, not you, Mitt.
Either we believe women or we don't. And obviously you have to look at every case. You have to look at the facts.
They're
But
all different.
They're all different, absolutely. But we are at a point in this country where women finally feel like they're being believed. And for politicians like Roy Moore to call them liars, I think that's offensive to
Bill
Republicans
I want to give you a quick
and
password.
Democrats.
Calling people liars?
One, the Clarence Thomas was a hit job, so that was total nonsense.
So we don't believe
Secondly,
her?
No, not at all. And I think, as a former investigator, I think you weigh the evidence. I think Roy Moore, the victims are very believable. But I'm
agree.
tired of Democrat hypocrisy. They're hacks on this. They have no credibility at all. And hypocrisy, yes, on both sides. You're right, Melissa. But it's the degree of hypocrisy that matters. And Democrats are at the top of Kilimanjaro for hypocrisy right now. I'm sorry.